Welcome back to Launch Speed. I am your captain, Church, joined by my second mate, Lavernius Tucker, on our epic journey to destroy the present.
And travel into the future. Roll it.
There's multiple shapes and sizes. To decide that a real fat guy is just a bear and it's hitting an animal.
No, it's not going to hit a bear.
Well, yeah, I know that. It will determine the
Launch speed?
Stop! I'm trying to think. I'm trying to put my words together. You're rushing me.
Am I helping?
No, not at all. No one else can see my hands.
Welcome to Launch Speed. And we're back with our regular podcast this week.
We are. You excited?
I'm excited. Yeah, of course. I'm always excited. Tell me some good things for you this week.
Tell you some good things. I don't have cancer.
Perfect.
Not that was ever a problem. It's a good thing, I think.
I suppose. Depending on your perspective, yeah. What else?
I got actually some good R&R this week.
How so?
So I was getting to bed on time, before 9.
Nice.
And waking up a little more refreshed than usual.
Perfect.
Yeah. So it was a good week at work. And also, we're running the podcast early this morning.
Yeah. It's super early.
Well,
like 7 hours earlier than normal, at least.
Yeah, and no nap.
Yep.
That's great.
So you're actually awake. Still didn't get enough sleep. You still didn't get enough sleep last night, but
no, but I never do.
Except for during the week.
Yeah, well, I have to be up and at 'em.
Yeah.
Monday through Friday, but I don't have to be up and at 'em on Saturday.
Yeah.
Also, I now have an excuse to go and spend lots of money on power tools.
How so?
Well, because I have to.
Okay, it's your job.
It's my job.
I guess, yeah. But not like handheld power tools for the most part, right?
What do you mean not handheld?
Sorry. Handheld power tools for the most part, yeah.
Yes, all handheld.
Yeah. You're not going to be buying a table saw or...
No, I don't think my work would appreciate me rolling it with a table saw every day.
Yeah. But you have to buy this stuff on your own dime.
I do.
And you got to make sure it doesn't get stolen every day.
Yep, pretty much.
So writing your name on everything?
Write my name on everything, and I keep it in a bag.
Yeah.
I've got a pretty big book bag now. I keep all my crap in.
Okay, that makes sense.
All my valuable stuff.
Right.
Like my tin snips and level.
Two things that you use at your job.
I really do. I just cut metal with my hands all day.
Fun.
And occasionally someone tries to convince me that I can do it with my teeth.
I bet you could.
I bet I could too, but I'm not going to try.
That's fun. So
what about you?
So last weekend, my brother and I cut down a tree. And let me rephrase that. My brother cut down a tree and I was there.
You were management?
I wouldn't even go that far because he knew what he was doing.
You were spectating?
I just figured I'd be there for insurance purposes. So it was like he cut off one branch and then we just picked the direction for it to go. And then he started cutting stuff so that it would fall in that direction. And you're supposed to cut through it and place in the wedges and then cut off one of the sides. That's a very abbreviated version.
Yeah.
And then it's supposed to fall in a specific direction. So we did that, and then it didn't fall. So we ended up having to drive a gigantic metal wedge into the back, and it still wasn't falling over. And he was like, okay, I'm quitting. And I was like, well. So I braced myself against another tree and started pushing that one over with my legs, and we actually got it to fall over, but we had to push it over. And then it didn't fall in the direction that we wanted it to. It fell like a 45-degree angle to the direction we wanted it to and smashed another tree, but nobody got hurt.
That's all that matters. Nobody got hurt.
And
did you feel like a big, strong man to be able to push a tree over?
I did, yeah. The thing was heavy.
Did it make a lot of snapping noises as you were pushing?
Not really.
Oh, then it didn't feel very satisfying.
It was still better. I was like giving up, and he was like, wait a minute. It's like actually going now. I was like, okay, let's keep pushing then.
Did he help?
And then run. Yeah, he helped.
Okay.
But I mean, yeah, it was fun.
No, you're supposed to stand directly next to the tree that you're falling.
That's right.
Felling.
That's right.
Not falling.
So, and then we cut it up with a chainsaw, and then he milled some of it for usable lumber. And
did you take that lumber?
Not yet. I probably will. I mean, it'll be another 2 years or so before that lumber's usable.
Wow.
I know. So,
is there any way to speed up that process?
You kiln dry. So
okay.
You would have to pay someone or make a kiln, and you just dry it out with
How
fire.
hard would a kiln be to make?
You'd probably need a pretty big area, but I think it's probably just a shed with a campfire in it, more or less.
Do you have to keep the fire going at all times?
It's probably for like 8 hours or something like that.
And then wood's complete. And it's usable after that, or take multiple like times.
You probably do it once, I think.
No, why don't you guys just do that?
Because I don't know how
Let's
to do
build a kiln. That would be so much fun. We got your parents' backyard.
Oh man, they would love that.
I'm sure they would, especially after the first furniture comes out for them.
No, we can just buy the wood. Really?
No. Now that you guys have this whole chainsaw operation going down.
True.
That chainsaw he bought is mahoosive.
Yeah, it's 41 inches, I think, is the short one. Then he's got like a 47-inch. It's not called a blade. Arm. I forget the proper term for it. Bar. That's it. Yeah. Yeah. And I don't know. That was fun. He then cut down an even bigger tree on Thursday, but unfortunately, almost none of that is usable for lumber. But that means that they have a bunch of good cherry firewood, and I have a shit ton of cherry for smoking with. So I'm never going to run out of free wood to smoke with. And if you had a lathe, a lot of it would be usable, but that's a whole lathing or turning is a whole nother world of woodworking that I don't really want to get into. So
you don't want to participate?
I do not. I
Why
do not. It's just like it's not exactly woodworking. The thing that really bothers me is that there's so much wasted wood. So like, let's say you want to turn a bowl, you're taking something 8 inches by whatever the diameter of the bowl is, and then all but a little shell gets wasted, and it's just becomes sawdust that you pretty much throw away. And that just don't like that much.
Isn't that anytime you make a bowl though?
Yeah.
So you just don't like making bowls?
Well, there's another way to make it where you make rings and you stack the rings and then you turn that, which I think is cool. That's a segmented turning bowl, which I'd be cool with that because it's a lot less waste. But like if you took a burl, which Jay is really into right now, burls are the deformities in trees which have really interesting figuring of the wood.
Okay.
They look like just a massive ball in the middle of a tree when you see them.
Aren't they usually called knots?
No,
Different.
no, massive.
Okay.
Massive burls. And so they look really interesting. The grain goes like all kinds of crazy directions. So those make for really cool looking bowls. But
are we just stuck on the Richards just stuck on bowls?
Well, that's the biggest thing you can turn. So that's what a burl looks like from the outside. On the inside, it's like I said. So yeah, there's a burl bowl right there, $275, and that's pretty cool looking. But there's so much waste wood, which is the reason that I don't really want to turn that. And it's an entirely different skill set, an entirely different set of tools and machinery. It's just a lot.
You have an excuse to buy all these.
I don't want to invest the time to that.
Okay.
The thing that I would like the most though is, for some reason, it really appeals to me to be able to turn pens, because you can just make a million pens, and I think that's cool.
Pens.
Yeah.
You're gonna buy all these tools to make pens.
Yeah.
And in that disappointingness, anything else that excited you this week?
It probably doesn't matter to anybody, but I finally hit diamond in Overwatch, which means that I'm in the top 15% of players in the world, which is exciting to me because that's awesome. Are you in the top 15% of anything that you do?
I'm the top 1% of Fortnite.
Really?
Really?
No way.
Yes.
I disagree.
I don't care what you disagree with.
Regardless, this is a game that actually takes skill.
Oh, okay.
Therefore, I'm happy about it.
All right.
You don't have to be.
I was really hoping that this was going to be about Minecraft.
No.
But it's even more disappointing.
We should play Minecraft.
I think we should. I have it already.
I have it too.
All right, we're playing Minecraft this week.
Sounds, yeah, it is absolutely just a total waste of time, but it's fun.
Yeah, it is fun.
Yeah.
We'll do, what's the one? It's called like sky levels. Like you start, it's just like a little block with a tree on it in the top of the sky, and you have to like see how large you can build out.
I have no idea.
Yeah. We'll try it.
Okay.
We'll let everyone know that doesn't care how it went.
Sure.
Anything that pissed you off this week?
Allergies. For the first time like ever, I actually had.
Usually that's what the first time means.
Yes. For the first time ever, I had bad allergies last weekend, like Thursday through Sunday, and it was just terrible. And
is that why you sounded so god awful earlier this week?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I was just getting over it. Now I think I'm mostly over it, and so it doesn't bother me anymore.
You've grown immune to allergies.
I've grown immune to allergies. I'm hoping that next year they don't come back. But it was like, it's weird because it didn't coincide with the pollen, like the pollen that you see all over your cars and everything like that. So it must have been a very specific pollen, like a very specific bush or tree or
ragweed.
something. Sure.
I'm making up terms.
Yeah.
Don't shake your head at me, Alexa.
The interweb said that oak and sycamore were out in the time that I got that actually allergies. But I'm hoping that next year it's not as bad. But we'll see.
Well, I do have some things that it's not terribly long, but I do have a few things that really, really got under my skin this week. The first one would probably get under anyone's skin. And I was going to work on Thursday morning, driving 75 because that's the speed of the Beltway at that early in the morning. And the car in front of me slams on their brakes and goes into the shoulder. And to avoid them, I had to go to the right. And for me going to the right, I saw what they were trying to dodge, and it was a truck tire. And I couldn't slow down or anything, and so I just mashed this truck tire at 70 miles an hour.
Was it a full truck tire or like part of it?
It was half of it.
So, okay, it had like blown up.
Yeah, I showed you the picture, right?
Yeah.
I sent you the picture. Yeah, and it got wedged in my grill, and I hit it, and I was like, man, I bet my front end is just totally destroyed. And so I got all the way over to the right looking for this truck that had lost a tire, and I could not find them. So I pulled off on my exit, which was only like a mile down the road. And when I got there, I looked at my front end and I was like, oh, sweet, nothing's damaged. Then I realized that like the bottom end of my grill had like a little bulge in it. And I was like, how did it pop out? And then I saw that it was the truck tire had wedged perfectly flat. Like it fit perfectly in that slot.
Nice.
And just sat there. So I pulled it out. And now I'm going to have to do a little bit of plastic work on my car this weekend.
Not too bad though?
No, not too bad. I'm going to drop the price of my car now a little bit.
That seems fair.
Yeah.
Unless it's not noticeable.
If it's not noticeable, I hope they never listen to this podcast. Also, why is it at like 2:30 and on people forget how to drive?
They're too busy getting out of work. They want to get home so bad that...
But the way they drive makes it worse on everybody.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to maintain a constant speed. They either want to accelerate so hard that they have to slam on their brakes, or they just want to drive at 2 miles an hour and then make other people pass them, causing other traffic problems.
Wait, but wouldn't that be... So in traffic, wouldn't driving at a constant speed be driving 2 miles an hour? Wouldn't that be...
It's actually 7.
7?
Because that's what my car idles at.
Okay.
And I just idle the whole time.
So driving a manual in traffic like I did for so long, I would try to maintain a constant speed. Number one, because it's less annoying when you drive a manual. Number two, because it actually makes traffic better.
Yeah.
To not go, because the section of the Beltway that I was driving, it was literally 70 to stop, like every other mile.
So where it is for me, it's like going 5 miles an hour and then going to 60, and then for the last part of my drive, it's just super slow. The thing is, since I let a lot of space open up between me and the car in front of me,
everyone just gets in front of you,
and then they brake, which is the irritating part. Like, it's a wide open lane, man. Like, all you have to do is go 8 miles an hour, and none of us will have to touch our brakes. But no, you're gonna make me shift again.
If everyone drove manuals, people would drive differently.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think traffic would be so much better.
I would hope so.
Also, it's hard to be on your phone and drive a manual in traffic.
That's true.
And I feel like phones cause a huge problem for traffic.
Absolutely.
People don't realize that cars have pulled away, or they don't pay attention to their surroundings.
And that in part causes that very sharp braking. Because if you knew someone in front of you was stopping and you were maintaining a safe distance, you would apply only the exact amount of brake pressure that you actually needed.
But
so you wouldn't just slam on them it's got to be so bad for your brakes too. I mean, people who drive around the Beltway every day probably replace their brakes more often.
I'm going to replace my brakes before I sell them. My brother's like, don't do that. Don't put any money in the car. But like, I don't want to give the person the car with my brakes on them right now.
Well, it wouldn't be their problem. It wouldn't be your problem anymore.
Yeah, I just feel that feels low to me, and it's only like less than $100.
Yeah, it's not
to put on new pads.
Yeah,
and then also, so I work construction, right?
Yep.
Which is renowned for not having anybody who went to college in it. Not saying it's a bad thing. I agree that sometimes you don't need to go to college. I could have not gone to college and been way better off.
I hope your parents don't hear this.
My dad already said this to me. But the guy I work with now, I was wearing my West Lib tennis shirt, and he's like, "Oh, you play tennis?" And I was like, "Yeah, I played tennis in college." And he goes, "Oh, you went to college?" And I was like, "Oh no."
Here we go again.
Yeah, and then he gave me like a 20-minute lecture about how how stupid it is for people to go to college when they could just do this kind of work. I was like, listen, man, a lot of people don't want to do this kind of work.
That's
It
true.
is tough. It is grueling, and it takes a certain kind of person to enjoy it and to do it for the rest of their lives.
Yeah.
But now what he does is I guess he goes home and either watches Jeopardy or some freaking trivia game, because he comes in and asks me the most ridiculous questions.
Just trying to test your knowledge?
Yes.
Be like, I know more than this stupid college kid.
Yes, that's exactly
Ah.
So he asked me a question that I have no chance of knowing. He's like, what did you even go to college for? And I was like, well, it wasn't Trivial Pursuit. I'll tell you that.
What an ass.
So it'd be like in the middle of something. Like I'll be doing something that requires my absolute focus, and he'll come up and be like, hey, do you know what happened in 1872 when the French Revolution in Sierra Leone? I'm like, no, I don't even know if that's a thing. Totally making that up. I have no idea what question he asked me. I ignore most of them.
Good. That's funny. What a douche.
It's so irritating. And he's the only one who does it because he's the only one who speaks good enough English to ask me these kinds of questions. The rest of them just want to know about my college experiences.
You should try and figure out what it is, like if he's actually watching Jeopardy, and just like remember all the answers and just start answering every single one of his questions.
That would require so much work.
It would, but wouldn't it be satisfying?
It would be.
To just be like, screw you, dude.
He did hit me with the who dueled Alexander Hamilton, and I hit him with the answer of that one.
Yeah, but that's an easy one.
Yeah. And he was like,
He
wait.
probably didn't know that.
What?
He probably didn't know
No,
that.
he didn't go to college.
Yeah. Nor did he see Hamilton on Broadway.
Did you?
No.
Oh.
Casey did make me listen to a lot of the soundtrack, but
Isn't Hamilton on Broadway like free for all to watch on some website?
it is
I
on
thought
some website. Unless I've taken it down, which is possible.
I've never searched for it, so I would
Neither
never know.
have I.
The website.
Yes.
Yes. Also, Fortnite updated with the newest season for those who care, and for those who don't, I don't care. Completely changed the landscape so much that it's pushed me away because, you know, I had a good groove going, and now it's lost. So either I have to play even more to get back to where I was, or just stop.
So, what is it going to be?
I think I'm going to stop. I finally bought a new game, trying to play Rainbow Six,
Yeah.
which we're terrible at.
Oh, yeah. It's fun, though.
It was.
I like that game you have the opportunity to just destroy the other team. Like, when we were playing yesterday, all of our teammates quit. And it was
we ended
you
up
and
winning.
me.
We ended up winning.
Yeah, you and me versus 5 people in a one-life situation, and we won.
You carried us.
Because for the first time ever, I got more than one kill in a round.
You looked at me and you said, "Here, Zach, hop in my backpack," and you carried me across the finish line.
That was awesome, and that takes me back to like Modern Warfare 2, like
The search and destroy, like
search and
clutching it
destroy,
out.
like you clutch it, and that's the thing about Rainbow Six that I think has the potential if we actually learn what the fuck's going on.
Yeah.
Because right now we're just blind little idiots running around. I seriously bump into walls in that game, and it's not like the mechanics are different than other games. I just suck.
Yeah. I like the fact there's voice chat with everybody. I also don't like the fact there's voice chat. That guy who helped me yesterday, who
Take the thing out of your foot and plant the bomb.
he's like press F. There you go. You got it.
Yeah, I was nobody cares. I was spectating you, and you were just like losing health, and I'm like, why are you losing health? And you're like, I don't know. And you had like a nail in your foot.
Yeah.
He was like, take the nail out. I was like, what's going on?
It was painful.
I want to keep playing that. That was a lot of fun.
I think we should continue as well after Minecraft, though.
Yeah, after Minecraft.
So we'll have Minecraft Mondays now.
Minecraft Mondays.
That'll be a thing.
And Siege. There's
Every
not
other day.
There's not a good day that goes with that. Yeah. So looking ahead, I'm excited for that.
Yes.
I'm excited for that. I'm excited for us to like play games together again because I haven't really wanted to play Fortnite for about a year now. Pretty much about a year ago.
Fair enough.
I took a break from Fortnite, like during the wedding and the moving and all that stuff, and then I tried to play again, and I just stopped enjoying it after that.
Fair
I think that's the same with a lot of things that you're addicted to. Once you stop for a while, then you're like, I don't know if it was really worth it. But I don't know. It's exciting for me, for us to be able to do something outside of the podcast.
Any other
again.
excitements
Uh,
this week coming up?
Coming up, we're going to a party, quote unquote party, later today.
Oh yeah.
See one of our good friends who we don't get to see very often.
Yeah, I've definitely talked about him on the show.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Might not be the sharpest knife in the harbor, but it's what matters.
Yeah. And then besides that, after this, I think we have plans to go wash and wax our cars.
Yeah,
which I haven't washed my car in about a year either.
I haven't washed my car since I got it.
Which has been like, what, a year and a half?
2 years maybe?
Okay.
Just over 2 years.
Yeah.
It's time. It's time. I'm also trying to sell it, so that's why.
Yeah. I put my, because I have black rims for the summer, and so I put my black rims back on my car, and they were brown from brake dust. And I was like, yay. You look great.
God. Only you would have a sports car and then abuse it.
It's not, I don't abuse it, I just don't
Care
wash
for
it.
Oh, sorry.
I care for it, I just don't wash it.
You know, tomato.
Anyways, shout outs to all of our patrons, which are Doug, goddammit, Brian, Casey, and Rob. Thank you guys for being our patrons. Don't forget, for everyone else, we have a permanent discount on t-shirts for our patrons, which is a very significant discount. It's something like 30%. So
that's a hefty discount.
We're making like almost no money on the t-shirts, but that's not the point. We want to hook you guys up with some sweet merch.
That's true. We want to see our name everywhere because we're arrogant bastards.
Moving on to Bear Bits. This one,
You got some good bear bits for me
it took
here?
me forever to find something because I
How?
feel like we've explored so much of bear history and bear culture, and the bear anthropologists out there are just lacking.
You know, maybe we should start our own fundraiser to learn more about bears.
So there's 8 different species of bears. I'm gonna try and list them off. I bet I forget 2.
Can we not?
All right, grizzly, black bear, sun bear, spectacled bear, polar bear, panda bear, Himalayan black bear, and then there's one more I can't remember. I think it might be a Himalayan grizzly bear or something like that.
All right.
So, oh shit, no, I forgot one. Whatever, sloth bear.
Moving on.
Which is the point of the bear bits here. The sloth bear, which you might expect to be the laziest, the slowest of all the bears. Turns out it's the most aggressive of all the bears. It lives somewhere in India. But there is one particular bear in India who they called the sloth bear of Mysore, which...
Mysore?
Sure. They certainly were after him. He was an unusually aggressive bear, responsible for the deaths of at least 12 people in the mauling of 24 others in 1957.
Jesus.
I mean, this dude attacked 36 people at least and killed about a third of them. That is crazy. So here's a quote from the guy who killed it. Sloth bears, as a rule, are excitable but generally harmless creatures.
Oh, okay.
This particular bear carried the mark of Cain in that he had become the wanton and deliberate murderer of several men whom he had done death in the most terrible fashion without provocation.
So he was hunting these humans now?
That's the vibe that I get from this.
He's just waiting outside your little hut
Yeah.
in 1957.
The most dangerous game. So, in typical sloth bear fashion, the animal attacked its victims' faces with its claws and teeth. He went after
As opposed
their
to
faces.
But what else would he attack them with?
No. What? No, he...
You said with its claws
with
and
its
teeth.
claws and teeth. Yeah, that you're right. That part wasn't important.
Was he going to headbutt
Sorry.
it first?
The faces part,
Yeah.
that's the gross part.
You got to go for the soft flesh, man.
Yeah. Wait, why wouldn't you go for like the core of the animal? The stomach, the neck.
It's all protected. The head's the easiest thing to hit. Well, not to hit, but to attack for an animal.
Is it though?
They're taller than you.
Not when they're on all fours.
But what if they leap? They can leap up to like 12 feet, can't they?
12 feet high. Yeah.
They can dunk onto double NBA regulation rim.
Regardless, when people got attacked because it went for the face and eyes, people who survived usually lost one or both eyes and some their noses, while others had their cheeks bitten through. So I guess they couldn't drink out of a straw anymore. Those who died often had
you
their
just didn't
faces...
have to open your mouth anymore.
Well, you wouldn't get any suction. It wouldn't work.
You just pinch it down.
You pinch it shut? Yeah. That sounds terrible.
You right there, Alexa?
Those who died often had their faces torn completely from their heads. So they should have called this bear Hannibal, but I guess I don't think that was really a thing at this point. I don't know. You double check that when Hannibal's around.
It doesn't even look friendly.
It's weird because they have really long hair. I think they're probably called sloth bears because their claws are so ridiculously long and disgusting.
I take it they dig?
I don't know. They look like giant rodents, but they're bears. They look like rodents with really long hair.
I'm glad you clarified that for me.
No, don't worry. They're bears. So, going on raw numbers, the sloth bear is the species of bear that most regularly attacks humans. A single Indian district seems to report a roughly equal number of fatalities for humans each year from sloth bears, as do the entire nearly circumpolar range of brown bears.
So, do you think the reason why it's not because the sloth bear has this, unequivocal taste for human flesh? Is it because India is just like chock full of people in a tiny little landmass?
Well, they live mostly in the more rural parts of India. What I think it is they're insecure. They're insecure about how stupid they look with their like gross ass claws and their shaggy manes that they attack these little brown guys. And
what? What was that? Maybe they just like curry. I don't know.
See, I'm surprised they don't just go around eating all the cows because they're just everywhere.
A cow is a much bigger animal to take on than a human.
Yeah, but much easier to kill.
I don't think you tell that bear this. So did they kill this bear?
Yep. The quote I read was from Kenneth Anderson, who sounds like a white guy, and he killed the bear in 1957 after it had killed 12 people.
Kind of late to the party here, aren't we?
Is that Kenneth Anderson? Yep.
Is he the one on the left or the right?
I think he's the guy that's not the dog.
Oh, okay.
The guy with the pipe in his mouth. He looks like the kind of guy who would go out on safaris and like kill elephants and stuff.
For fun.
Yeah. That kind of guy.
What a true winner right there.
Yep.
Okay. Enough showing off your bear bits.
Enough of that.
Your parents wouldn't appreciate it.
Yeah. So you know how last week we talked about no, not last week. In our last regular podcast, we talked about what we want to do with our bodies.
Yes.
And we said that atmospheric deterioration would be a good one, like launching your body from space back into the atmosphere so that it burns up in the atmosphere. Some guy's doing that with his cat. He's actually paying and he's putting his freaking cat in space.
The cat's name is Pikachu.
Is it? Yeah, it is. Yeah. So it can orbit the planet and eventually fall back towards Earth.
Jesus.
The cat had more than 12,000 followers. Munt and Z, what the hell? How can a cat be a science enthusiast? Okay.
Well, Munt is the guy. Oh, the Z is the other cat.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. All right. Yeah. Okay. Even though I prefer cats over dogs, cat people are crazy.
They are. They tend to go too far.
Such as, I want to know how they're going to do this.
So he started a GoFundMe account to raise money for this, obviously. So there's a company that charges $5,000 that claims to launch a, quote, symbolic portion of cremated remains into Earth orbit where it remains until it re-enters the atmosphere, harmlessly vaporizing like a shooting star.
Oh, so they already
it's already cremated? What the hell?
That doesn't count.
Who put this down here?
You gotta
freeze it.
You gotta put it in a trebuchet and freaking huck that thing all the way up to the atmosphere and back.
That would be a very powerful trebuchet.
It would be dope though.
That would be cool. We also talked about in the last couple of weeks lasers.
Oh yeah.
We talked more about having lasers on airplanes, but the Air Force has tested something this past week that they can. It's like this giant laser contraption thingy that basically sits on the back of an 18-wheeler. Yes.
It's a laser gun.
And it shoots down missiles. So they tested it and successfully shot down like a shit ton of missiles. And so this is more or less a test so they can miniaturize it and put it on planes. But I thought it was super cool because they just shot down a bunch of missiles.
That is
with the laser.
It seems like I thought we already had systems that did that.
Not with lasers.
Yeah, I know, but that already has.
This is a laser.
But it is a laser. It's like, but we've got something that works already. And they're
But
like,
this
is a laser.
is a laser.
It can handle intense situations.
Yeah.
Like the Cuban Missile Crisis. It doesn't break a sweat. It doesn't sit in the back of the trailer like shivering.
Too soon.
Okay.
Oh.
In other intense situations, people are committing suicide from watching 13 Reasons Why.
Yeah. There was a study that showed... So 13 Reasons Why is a Netflix original show about a girl who kills herself in... It's disgusting. Makes videos for all the people who caused her to kill herself.
Yeah.
And that's what the entire first season is about. And believe it or not, other people were like, I could do that.
Yeah.
And
I can make 13 other people.
I can blame other people for me killing myself. I mean, And so a study showed that this, believe it or not, led to more suicide. If you read further into the study, it showed that if you made it through the first season and the second season, you were less likely to commit suicide.
Well, yeah, because you made it through 2 seasons of Netflix, and you got to wait for the third one before you make your move.
It was not a good show.
What was the second season about?
I don't even know. I caught glimpses of it, and it was so stupid. Casey agrees. She watched the whole thing. She thought it was stupid.
I watched 13 Reasons Why because,
it was the thing to do.
No, I had a significant other who really wanted to watch it. And so I watched it with him. Dude, I'm not a fan of that in any sense.
Yeah. It sets a really bad precedent.
It does.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't even know why they approved it. But then again, Netflix approves like literally any idea.
Yeah, they're like,
you call Netflix and like, hello, this is Netflix. You're greenlit.
We don't care what it is. Just put it out there.
Yep. Speaking of other streaming services, Disney has gone nuts this last week. They released their schedule for all these new things. So you remember Avatar?
Yes.
Came out in 2009-ish. I'm probably wrong on the date there.
I love that movie. I thought it was great. I don't care what everyone says. It looked awesome. It seemed awesome. I loved it.
Which one are you talking about?
Not The Last Airbender.
Okay, you're talking about the James Cameron one, the number one movie of all time.
It is?
It is.
No way.
I want to say Endgame is number 2 now.
Okay.
Yeah, Avatar number 1 of all time. It's like 2.5 billion or so in the box office.
It was such a awesome looking movie.
I don't think anyone didn't like it.
I could have sworn people used to bash on that all the time.
Maybe. I don't know. South Park did an episode comparing it to Smurfs, but
maybe that's what I'm getting.
I don't know.
Whatever.
Good movie. I didn't even know that they were planning on making more of them. Disney this week announced 4 new ones.
Are you sure it's not Avatar?
I'm sure James Cameron.
Okay.
James Cameron. 2021, 2023, 2025, 2027 are the release dates for these new Avatar movies.
Is that one of the Disney twins on the left?
I don't know. I don't recognize that.
I think that's a girl, but it looks kind of like the 2 twins from The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It definitely does. I don't care what you guys say. I might have an unpopular opinion, but I'm right.
Sure. Why not? Star Wars is taking a break after the coming episode, which is coming out at Christmas this year.
I wonder if it's just as disappointing as the last one.
It can't be more disappointing.
You'd like to think that, wouldn't you?
I seriously hope that they stop with all this stupid crap and make an actually good movie. We'll see. They're taking a break, and then in 2022 they're coming back. So it's not a very long break. It's literally 2 years.
What?
I don't even know why they're.
Did they release any plot lines for these?
I don't think so. Not that I know of.
Okay.
But they're doing 2022, and it'll be on alternating years with Avatar. So 2022, 2024, 2026. So there are potentially 7 really good movies from Disney in 7 years.
Yeah.
What is probably not going to be a good movie is the 2021 Indiana Jones that they also announced, which I probably won't even go see. The last one, the fucking Indiana Jones in the goddamn temple of the stupid ass Crystal Skull is the worst Indiana Jones movie ever. I mean, the original ones, we talked about this before.
They're not that good, but they are
not that good,
fun to watch.
But yeah, they're fun. But this one just sucked. I mean, Shia LaBeouf and Harrison Ford should get their money back for that. I mean, not a good movie. Not even remotely excited for that. I wanted to like. I just.
You know, they went into that studio and they're like, listen. So, how do you feel about aliens? And Disney's director was like, you know what? I think there are aliens out there. And they're like, well, we're not going. We'll put aliens in there, and they've been here before in the Aztec. I don't freaking know. South American.
Like that, yeah.
Miserable. And then at the end, a saucer is going to come out. It's going to come right out the bottom. It's going to be dope.
There the whole time. Nobody noticed there's been aliens on this planet all along.
Yeah.
That being said, I do like Men in Black.
Yes, I do like Men in Black. The first one.
Yeah. Yep.
Next.
Also, from Disney, they said 8 untitled Marvel projects, which is a lot. And I was a little unclear with how it read. It was either they're going to be starting making them in 2022 or they're going to be out starting in 2022, which I think is probably the one that's more likely to happen. So
that is
3 years from now, 8 Marvel movies are going to be out.
So let's see. We got Black Panther. That could do as a sequel. Captain Marvelous.
Captain Marvelous?
I don't freaking know. She's a useless superhero.
Captain Marvel.
That one. And we got Spider-Man. I'm sure they'll do another movie with him because everyone loves that guy, Tom Holland.
I think they'll probably do another Wonder Woman, but that's DC?
Yeah.
That's DC? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I don't know. Ooh, they might actually give Nighthawk, Blackhawk,
Hawkeye? Jeez.
I'm so sorry, everybody.
You just saw Endgame too.
And I was so disappointed.
I haven't seen it. If I see it, which I probably won't, it'll probably be on Disney Plus.
I wonder what AJ's take of this is going to be when I say that Endgame was one of the worst Marvel movies that have ever come out.
Wow.
I hope he calls me about this.
I heard the second Avengers was trash.
Infinity War?
Age of Ultron, maybe?
I don't know.
I only watched the first one.
I'm losing track.
There's so many Marvel movies, it's hard to keep up, and I don't like going to the movie theater that much. And it's just
you don't like stepping on a sticky floor and sitting next to someone a little too close and take your armrest?
Yeah, like I like that after like 30 minutes or whatever, I like being able to move my feet and not have them stuck to the floor.
It is. I don't know what it is about. I like when they're like, you know what we're going to do with carpets, and then you just step everywhere. It's like as you step on thousands of popcorn kernels.
Yeah.
Because you know what you do when you're done with your popcorn at the end of a movie? You throw it down on the ground and let someone else pick it up.
That's not what I do.
Oh, is that not culture?
So did you go to Endgame during like opening week?
No.
No? Was it really crowded when you went?
It was packed. There wasn't a single open seat.
There a bunch of... Okay, maybe not. Was there like a bunch of like ultra nerds there?
I couldn't tell you. I showed up 15 minutes late because I didn't want to watch any of the commercials.
Okay. So, really?
Yeah.
I kind of like the movie previews.
Since it was a 3.5 hour long movie, I did not want to be in there any longer.
That's fair. Yeah, so I've heard that if you show up to a movie like Endgame on opening night, it smells really, really bad.
I could bet.
Yeah.
I went and saw it when the newest Star Trek came out. I went and saw it on opening night with a couple friends. Mm-hmm. There was 5 of us, and we were the only 5 people under the age of 35.
Nice.
And we were also the only ones who showered that day, apparently.
The only ones not dressed up, I'm assuming, as well.
There were a couple Cleons.
Yeah.
And some people wearing red shirts. I don't know. Whatever the extra is that dies all the time, that's what everyone was dressed as.
Scotty?
No. Red shirt.
Oh, that's his name?
No, it's just like in Star Trek, they like have this running bit where like the guy that they just introduced who's wearing a red shirt is the first to die.
Kenny.
It's the Kenny of Star Trek.
Okay. I never really did Star Trek.
I enjoyed all the new ones. I think they're up there as one of my more favorite movies to watch.
Okay. Speaking of futuristic things, UMD delivered a kidney by drone in the last couple of weeks. There was a kidney at Baltimore's St. Agnes Hospital that they transported to the University of Maryland on a short 10-minute, 2.7-mile test flight and successfully transplanted the kidney a few hours after the delivery.
The drone did all this?
The drone did all of this. Super precision drone. No, it didn't perform the surgery. So it's I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this. It makes me a little uneasy.
I'm not gonna lie. When you said that UMD delivered a kidney by drone, I imagined that UMD like typed in "we need a kidney" and then a drone went and took it from somebody. Well, here's a kidney for you.
Black market kidney stealing drones.
Yeah,
that'll be a new thing. So yeah, some would say that this is the beginning of a important medical drone synergy.
I agree. I think this is a really cool and a good use of a drone.
I'm very curious how like time critical this was, because it said that the kidney was transplanted a few hours after the delivery. Like, did they transport it and then have it sit there for a few hours and then transplant it, or did they transport it and then immediately start the surgery and it just took a few hours? It's not clear. But I'm wondering, was that 10-minute drive, well, okay, the flight was 10 minutes. Was that flight really necessary, or could they have just done it in a normal car?
See, the thing is, I think they wanted to test it.
Just a proof of concept.
Before it was critical, because the last thing you want to do is be like, man, we need a kidney in 10 minutes. We got to get it from Baltimore. Let's get a drone. And then they find out the drone hits power lines.
They did a bunch of test flights before even this.
Okay.
Like a ton of test flights. And I'm assuming they got some sort of authorization from the FAA, but I don't know.
Imagine if this thing got off route and it just stopped off at the front of your door and delivered a kidney.
Here's a kidney.
You just
I didn't want this.
Walk out, open the little red box, and it's just like, wait, that's a heart. And also it wouldn't be beating.
You're right.
My bad.
It's cool though.
It is. You said it's kind of weird.
It's just a little weird. Like normally things like this are under incredible supervision. They're always being watched. Someone's always with it. You can more or less always account for what's happening to it, but you put it on this little machine and then nobody sees it, and then it appears somewhere else.
Teleportation.
The conspiracy theorist in me would say someone intercepted it, stole that kidney, put in like a little plastic kidney, and nobody noticed. Even during the surgery, nobody noticed.
Just open it up, it's Mr. Potato sitting there.
They give you like the kidney from Operation.
Oh, then you touching it. Did that game shock you, or did it just buzz?
I don't know. I don't remember.
I didn't play it.
I think I may have. I think it just buzzed. I think it just startled you.
It buzzed? Because
it'd be more intense if it shocked you.
It would be.
That would be kind of fun.
As a 5-year-old, I don't think I would have enjoyed that.
That's true. It's not like it hurts that bad. It's like those little clicky shock pens.
I don't care what those things freaking hurt, man.
No, when you're not expecting it. When you're not expecting it, it hurts. Otherwise, it's just like a nice little buzz.
A nice little buzz.
It doesn't hurt. It's not painful.
Okay. Whatever you say.
You can just hold that thing down and let the battery wear out, and then it's not painful at all.
You're right.
That's what my old dog at my parents' house he would do, because he had an electric fence. So he would go and sit very close to the edge of the electric fence, wait for the battery to die, and then he would just run off and explore the neighborhood. Just sitting it like.
You guys need to get landmines then.
That's counterproductive. Plus, that dog's been dead for like 18 years. So, moving on from that, Waymo is teaming up with Lyft. Waymo is an offshoot of the parent company of Google Alphabet. Waymo is teaming up with Lyft for 10 ride-sharing autonomous taxis in Phoenix, Arizona, the city where a lady was killed by an autonomous vehicle about a year ago, if that. So, seems like they'd be less cool with this than anybody else, but they're just apparently totally okay with it. And so 10 Lyft vehicles in Phoenix are just not going to have drivers. I'm assuming, and I think that you can specify whether or not you want one of these things in your little Lyft app, but it's creepy. And also, I'm surprised that this is even allowed. I really don't think the regulations are there yet. I think that they just struck up some kind of deal.
I don't think the laws are in place for this kind of,
or the regulations.
Well, I mean, you can regulate an industry.
They must have made some sort of deal with the city government.
If it kills someone, what's the price?
Yeah, right. I mean,
last
time they were like, "Oh, our bad." You know, that's it. I mean,
whoops.
Yeah, crazy, a little uncomfortable. See, like autonomous vehicles, one of those things that I'm willing to wait until like the technology is proven and tested before I hop on. I'm okay with other people hopping on board, but like I'm gonna wait. You know, I'm gonna see. It's like the new graphics card, the new ray tracing graphics card. Like, I'll just wait a couple years. I'll make sure.
I would be more okay with riding in an autonomous vehicle than being in a city that has autonomous vehicles.
That's fair, I'd say.
Because I don't want to walk across that crosswalk and that thing's like, green, go, bump.
Yeah, yeah.
We have hit a speed bump.
Especially in a city where if you're in the car, it's not going to be going all that fast.
Yeah.
Probably. Unless someone hijacks it, like that scene from Fast and Furious, and they just hijack. We've talked about this before.
I don't know what you're talking about.
All right. Moving on.
Where they put the little probe on the cars?
No, there was a scene in the
Fast
and
the
Furious
cars
8,
come out.
all the cars come out of the parking garage.
Yeah.
This one girl hijacks all the cars in New York City. Yeah.
That was pretty dope.
It was very cool scene. Very, I'm sure, ungodly expensive. So some really cool stuff with video games this week. There's a game called Sea Hero Quest VR, or virtual reality, that helps detect dementia. So this is really cool. They say that 2 minutes of gameplay is equivalent to 5 hours of lab-based research. They performed the equivalent of 15,000 years of similar lab-based research on people that may develop dementia or have dementia. So it focuses on players that are people, I guess, that are known to carry the APOE4 gene, which is suspected to increase the chance of having dementia later in life. And so these people with the APOE4 gene performed worse on spatial navigation tasks and took less efficient routes to checkpoint goals. And that's just one of the things that they looked at. But apparently it's super good at detecting dementia, and they've been able to do a ton of research.
Was Sea Hero designed for
this?
Okay, I thought it was like a game that they were suddenly like, yo, people have dementia, get seasick playing this.
Designed with this in mind, yeah. So it's super cool. I really like the marriage between video games and actually helping people out.
I do too.
Because I mean, how cool is it that they can like detect whether or not you're gonna go crazy and lose your mind? I don't know what good that's going to do you, but
you get to know now.
It might help your family.
Yeah.
It might help your family prepare.
And I mean, it might lead to a cure or at least a treatment.
We've talked in the past about some sort of electrical impulses that they send through your brain that actually help with dementia.
Okay. Yeah, we talked about it. It sounded great.
Yeah, we talked about it. So, like, if you can combine these two things, so, like, with the electrical impulses that help you in your cognitive functions, and then the game that kind of determines how well your cognitive functions are doing as related to dementia, you combine these two things, there's significant possibilities here. Super cool. Not much else to say about it.
Yeah. Also, I know that it's VR, but, like, do they actually have to, like, are they limited to a certain amount of space, or is it like a VR system where they can, like, walk like a long distance?
That's a good question. I don't know for sure.
Because I don't mean to make light of it, but I just pictured they're like, oh yeah, you're gonna have dementia and we're gonna make you run into a couple walls during this test.
I don't think that's what they're doing. I would put money on it.
I don't like VR. I've played it. I really enjoy it. It did make me feel kind of sick after like an hour or so, because it does throw you off
a little bit.
And occasionally the screen or the images will glitch
a little bit, yeah.
And it's like someone just took your perspective and then shifted it to like a 45-degree angle and then back, and you just want to throw up.
The thing about VR, if you haven't played VR, it seems really stupid. You're like, cool, like some crap virtual reality thing. Once you actually put that thing on and have like the headphones in, it's so incredibly immersive. It is so much more immersive than you could ever imagine a video game being. It is absolutely insane. So I can't imagine what that does to your state of mind if they're testing you for dementia. Like, I feel like it's not going to be like comfortable for them. For people who have never experienced VR, it's like, hey, you're a seahorse now.
I loved playing VR. I also love watching people play VR, especially a game that involves with them like moving through a puzzle and there's like a hole in the floor. Nick must have ran his head into the floor 4 or 5 times in a row.
The first time I played that game, there was like a hole in the floor that you could look through, and I was so immersed that I tried to stick my head through the floor and just was very confused when I hit the ground. And I mean, it's like I play video games all the time. I should have known what to expect, but it's so immersive, really crazy.
It really does feel like a 360 effect, which is just incomprehensible for people who only have played on a screen.
Yep.
I didn't quite get it. I thought it was going to be like I was looking at a screen the same way, but it gives you peripherals, which is just mind-boggling.
I thought it was going to be garbage. I played it and I was sold. Like I literally went out and bought a set. And
have you used it since?
I have. I used it a bunch. We used it a bunch. Remember?
Have you set it up here yet?
Not yet.
You need to.
I need to. There's one specific game that I'm really looking forward to playing. I forget what it's called. Beat Saber looks cool, but there's a sword fighting game where the physics are like kind of nutso, and you can just do all kinds of crazy things and hack people's limbs off in like ridiculous ways.
That sounds awesome. We need to get in this.
Yeah. So I'm working on setting that up. Enough about that. You know about Sonic. You've heard of Sonic before. Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah, I've played the Sonic games.
Blue guy who goes really fast.
Gotta
like
go
Forrest
fast.
Gump.
Is that what he says? Gotta go fast?
Ricky Bobby.
Oh, different kind of fast guy.
That's I want to go fast. I maybe got a blast. That's it.
That's Jimmy Neutron.
Jimmy Neutron. I don't know what it is that Sonic says, but so they're doing a movie with him. So
small little tangent. I am not behind the whole real life. Like animations where they have like a CGI character that interacts with everybody else.
Okay.
And it's kind of like the Looney Tunes of real life.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it looks stupid, and I'm not going to watch any of them.
So it's gotten better, though, because the first one I remember is Osmosis Jones, which I thought was a decent movie. Really weird.
Osmosis Jones.
Yeah, it's like a bacteria or something inside of Robin Williams, I think. Super strange movie. It's like a kid's movie. But it's gotten better, right? Because the CGI version of Sonic looks really good, so it's almost believable that, like, whatever, that character's there, and the actors do a very good job of talking to nothing in its place, you know. But I'm kind of on board with you. It's gotten better. It's gotten bearable, I should say.
I think it's because they're cartoonish characters or they're game characters that don't belong in real life. So it looks so abrupt, and it just I can't accept it as anything but goofy.
That's fair.
Because
it is.
There are other CGI ways that they've done it where like the Jungle Book, the newest Jungle Book, that was awesome. That is a human actor interacting. What all the characters are wearing suits that are going to be CGI'd on later. So it's really well done. I really enjoyed it, and it's a bit more believable because they're animals that talk. I get it, whatever, not cool, but they're not imaginary.
Right.
I feel like I'm watching some guy talk to an imaginary pet. Like he's got Calvin, and then we got Hobbs.
And like when they insert, kind of like you said, when they insert these cartoon characters in more or less real life, it's absurd. Like when they did it in something like Lord of the Rings, where Gollum was CGI. Yeah. Or in like Game of Thrones where the dragons are CGI, it's in a universe where that makes sense.
Yes.
And if you just put Sonic into the middle of Las Vegas, like, I don't know, dude, it's a little weird. But people took up gripe with a different issue of this, is that he looks almost nothing like the Sonic character. It looks like a guy in a blue suit with long hair. The things that people took offense at is that Sonic's legs are too big and his eyes are too small. And there's somebody made a reanimated version of a scene from the trailer, but there was such big backlash for this movie that the director said, "Okay, we'll fix it."
I'm glad they did, because I saw the preview and I was like, no, that's a movie I can miss and never watch ever.
But if it looked like the one on the right there, would you be more willing to?
No.
Exactly.
I'm not more willing, but that does look like the actual Sonic character. I didn't realize that it was that far off.
It does, but I want to pick up. I want to make a point here. Is that, have you heard about the Detective Pikachu movie?
I have.
I don't think it's out yet, but I've heard like almost nothing but good things about it.
Well, because it's got Ryan Reynolds in it, and that man is gold.
This has what's his name? Jim Carrey.
Oh, you can count me out definitely then.
You don't like Jim Carrey?
I don't.
Okay. He's a little wacky. So the Detective Pikachu movie, people are like going crazy about it, but Pikachu is like furry. And Pikachu, so he's not furry in the Pokemon series and stuff. If he is, it's not apparent. So to me, this looks almost nothing like Pikachu because he's furry.
He's adorable though.
It's pretty cute. But I don't know. It's strange that people are totally okay with this and totally not okay with the interpretation of Sonic. But that being said, really cool that the directors are going back and probably spending millions of dollars to fix the way that Sonic looks. And it just goes to show sometimes people can make an impact. I can't imagine how incredibly expensive it is for them to do this, assuming that they're actually doing this and this wasn't some crazy publicity stunt. But it's actually probably going to end up working out better for them this way. Yeah. Because there's all the people with the initial backlash. All those people are mad.
And they fixed it finally.
Then it became a big media thing. Yeah. Everyone was like, oh, wow, they're actually changing. You know, like everyone's so mad about this. And so now more people know about the movie. And maybe more people are going to go see it. So it worked out for them probably in the long run. We'll see when the movie comes out.
Do you think this is going to start setting a precedent for like people are going to release a movie and then everyone's just going to get upset about one thing to see if they can get it to change?
I don't know. Another instance of this
like,
is will
they go back in Harry Potter and make Hagrid black?
Another instance of this, this past Game of Thrones episode, there was a Starbucks cup in it that nobody caught. Nobody noticed it.
I didn't notice it.
I didn't notice it either. It was sitting on the table in front of Daenerys. And they went back and took it out.
Yes.
So, I don't know. I think it's hilarious that they went back and took it out with CGI.
I agree. I don't know. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Even if like now that it's been pointed out to me, I rewatched the scene with it. I still couldn't spot that thing
because they took it out. They went back, and now if you stream that episode, you won't see the coffee cup. Yeah. I don't know how fast they did it.
Okay.
But they did do it. I mean, there it is in that picture there. It's funny.
That is it is a sore thumb.
So there's another scene where slight spoiler where
wait are we getting
no of previous seasons.
Okay.
Where Stannis, someone or other, is laying against a tree and not in good health, and there's a laptop cable next to him. It's just like a laptop charger cord. It's like kind of underneath of his leg. And there's a couple other like things like that. Like I saw a scene where two production guys were just walking through the back of the scene. I love stuff like that. I kind of wish they would leave it in.
It's because like we get it. It's not real. Like we're not going to be upset.
You're just human. You know, sometimes people make mistakes. It honestly just makes me like just a little bit upset that they bothered to go back and take it out.
Yeah, like
I understand.
People are being petty at this point.
Yeah, but they just want everything to be perfect. Speaking of perfect, I saw the most perfect invention this week.
You found a laundry folding machine.
More perfect. So, this YouTuber invention. She was a product of happenstance. Moving on. The most perfect invention. A Roomba that when it hits stuff, it swears. A YouTuber went and made this Roomba and did some nifty programming that, because Roombas, they just mindlessly go around and they hit walls and then they're like, oh, I need to turn at some obscure angle and then, whatever. So whenever it hits stuff, it swears or says stuff like, why was I created this way? And I really want one, but I don't think that I'm going to actually pay for one.
You're going to steal it?
I don't think I'm going to get one. Oh. These rooms are expensive. Several $100s.
Also, they're kind of pointless.
It would be nice to not ever have to vacuum, though. I don't know if it'd be like $400 nice to not ever have to vacuum, but
You know how obnoxious it would be, though, to just be like in your living room and in your dining room, you just hear, fuck!
yeah. But it's
funny.
like a novelty. It's like you turn it on when other people come over and they're just like sitting around and like you turn the room on, like room runs and just like, why was I created this way?
Yeah. I feel like as a practical standpoint, this would get real annoying real fast.
Yeah, you'd have to be able
Imagine
to
if you bought a maid and she swore every time she ran into something.
Why is your maid running into stuff?
Maybe you hired a blind maid. You're an equal opportunity employer.
Is the floor clean? Probably.
It looks clean from here.
So that's awesome. Not much else to say about that. The biggest thing though for video game news this week. Do you want to kick it off?
Nope, I don't want to kick it off.
All right.
Because I'm pretty heated about it.
You're heated about it.
I'm not heated about their decision. I'm heated about that they exist.
Okay. So Senator Josh Hawley, who, if we could bring up a picture of him, to me looks like a young Nicolas Cage. You see that?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's got a big forehead.
Yeah.
You could advertise on it.
He proposed banning loot boxes and pay-to-win microtransactions for minors. He said, quote, when a game is designed for kids, game developers shouldn't be allowed to monetize addiction.
I'm down for that.
I'm okay with this.
I think microtransactions and loot boxes have absolutely destroyed the gaming industry in the last 5 years.
In particular, FIFA.
Yeah, FIFA is 100% pay.
That is literally pay to win, which is what this takes offense.
It's not even pay. It's not even pay to win. It's pay to gamble to win.
That's true. Yeah.
And I mean, it's. I want to know how much money FIFA has made off a gambling system, and I'm sure it's not clear to be gambling because that's what it is.
It is absolutely gambling, and so I don't have a problem with the microtransactions. Like you pay a couple, but well, okay, let me take it back. I didn't have a problem with the microtransactions when they were like $1 or $2 for a skin. I have problems with the microtransactions that are $20 for a skin, but it still doesn't change the outcome of the game.
Yeah.
Then I have a serious problem with paying $10 to open a virtual pack of players with a very, very slim probability that one of them will be any good, and that being the only way to actually play the game.
Yeah, because there are always people who do have that kind of money, who can spend that kind of money, and they ruin the game for everyone else. They might not be any better, but the game mechanics reward them so much
for having
more.
The good players. Yeah.
It would be like if I, went into a game and I had the best weapon. I wouldn't have to be very good to win it. I just have to get lucky here and there.
Yeah, it's kind of like you have a Toyota Corolla, but some rich guy who has no idea how to drive will beat you every time with a GTR.
Yes. All he has to do is step on the gas and
That's
he wins.
it. Just, yeah. So it really takes all the real competitiveness out of a game when you have play to win microtransactions. And there's really only a few games that do that. FIFA and Madden are the ones that come to mind.
And then also just microtransactions in general. Since minors don't make any money, I think it's once, every minor has done this, I think, has gotten their parents' credit card somehow and then said they took it off their account and then spent more on it than they should have.
The parents should notice. There are parental controls that can stop you from doing that, which is good.
Agreed.
And that people should be aware of them. And that there's a ESA, I think it is, that is a gaming lobby, basically. They noted that several countries have declared loot boxes as not gambling and that there are parental controls that kind of mitigate this. But still, I think that this bill, although it hasn't been put into writing yet, is trying to set a good precedent that you shouldn't be targeting kids for
Gambling.
I
don't care who the hell these people are. It's gambling.
Yeah.
If there is a percentage on the reward, it is gambling. And
I mean, really, I don't think that kids, unless they're making their own money, which they aren't until they're at least 14, because you can't work before you're 14, at least here, they shouldn't be able to buy microtransactions anyways.
Yeah.
And it makes me even feel stronger about this when you hear about kids in like middle school and high school being bullied for not having a skin on Fortnite.
Oh, dude.
Isn't that terrible?
It also, what
I mean-
kind of assholes exist in middle school and high school now that you're gonna get bullied for a video game?
The world has changed a little bit. 20 years ago, 20-ish years ago, 30 years ago, you get bullied for playing video games.
Yeah.
And now you get bullied for not playing video games good enough.
I was just about to say, like, when I was in middle school, if I had been like, yo, I am prestige 10, some big guy from 8th grade would have come downstairs and kicked the living shit out of me. As he should.
Sure.
You bullied me, so I don't want to hear it.
You deserved it.
Of course. That's always what they say.
Blame the victim. Did you have anything else to add to that?
I don't have anything else to add to it. I hope they ban it, or at least limit in a very severe manner, or make FIFA fix their system.
If FIFA stopped having this mechanic, the pay to win, pay to gamble to win, then I would be much more willing to actually go back and buy the next game.
I would buy the next game if they announced there were no packs, and the market system is fine.
It's okay.
Well, the thing is with the idea of packs, it limits such a large number of the players available that they're impossible to buy.
Right.
So eliminating the pack system would also eliminate the problem in the market.
Yeah, that's true. And there's got to be some legitimate way to reasonably earn the characters. Like when Battlefront came out, Star Wars Battlefront 2, someone calculated it was something like 6,000 hours to get Darth Vader without buying him.
Jesus.
And that's just absurd. That's too much. Way too much.
That is too much.
Way too much. So there's a problem with all games that have microtransactions that allow you to have extra characters and stuff like that. But if FIFA eliminated the packs and said, this is the last FIFA game we're ever going to put out, FIFA Ultimate, and they did that and they just kept that game updated, and you can have microtransactions to buy jerseys or whatever else, cosmetic items that don't make a difference, I would buy it.
I would. Hands down. I'd be on it. I'd be playing it every day. I loved FIFA. Probably it is the most time I've ever put into a game.
Yeah.
Over the series, because I put a disgusting something like 180 days in 4 years.
Mm-hmm. That's a lot of time.
Consecutive playing time. That's not just like
yeah. That's a lot of time.
It is a lot of time. I had some issues.
And on that disappointing note, I think it's time to wrap up.
It is.
Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast and to our YouTube, and follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. If you have any tips, suggestions, feedback, things you would like to hear us discuss on the podcast, or tips for falling asleep for Zach, please don't hesitate to send us an email at launchspeedpodcast@gmail.com or reach out to us through social media.
I've got a tip for you to fall asleep.
Okay.
Take a belt.
If you want to support us and get some awesome merch, head on over to our Teespring page and get some bear gear, because everybody likes bears. Thank you to all of our patrons. If you want to get stickers, shout-outs, bonus content, help us out by subscribing to some of our tiers starting at a measly $2 a month. Your contributions help keep the content rolling and the beer flowing. Don't forget, we have permanent discounts on our merch if you're a patron. Thank you so much for listening. We'll see you next time.
I thought you were done.